Well, next week, hares boxing on the Somerset levels, a rare view of the elusive European otter, and for Toya Wilcox, a quest to find the majestic golden eagle. King and Company next Wednesday at 7:40. Tomorrow morning on Radio 4, Fergus Keeling reports from the Galapagos Islands, described by Charles Darwin as a paradise for the whole family of reptiles. Giant tortoises and iguanas dominate the local wildlife, but for how long will man leave them to survive alone? The Natural History programme on Radio 4 at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
The ground squirrel of the Kalahari is one of a surprising variety of tiny creatures, often unnoticed by all but the most dedicated tourist. In the July edition of the BBC Wildlife magazine, Ken Preston Matham discovers the delights to be found eye to eye with an elephant shrew. The spectacular sandstone escarpments, creeks, floodplains and forests of Kakadu cover almost 20,000 square kilometres. David Curl examines the conservation problems of this vast region and reflects on the future of this great Australian national park. The glories of the hidden valleys of northern Spain captured on the front cover of the new BBC Wildlife magazine.
On BBC Two now, Peter France introduces his personal choice of favourite items from the year's Time Watch series, including the search for the cause of the Zulu Wars and of the sudden end of pistol duelling in England. We on One also come to an end, but with many questions yet to be answered in the last of this series of Dallas.
Torture, the unleashing of evil, a personal inquiry by one man. What it does to its victims and how a normal human turns torturer. Richard Taylor's interest began in the British Army.
My tent backed onto the unit's compound, and the screams I heard there still echo in my mind. The most sobering thing of all was to realize how ordinary, even how pleasant, a man who inflicts torture on another can be. Luis Munoz is one of the first people I talked to about the experience of torture. You feel intrusive when you do that. I was prying into something which has an unspoken, dreadful intimacy.
Somehow you feel that you have been part of it. I'm not the torturer. I am the person who has been tortured.
Where did you learn about the theory and doctrine of terroristic torture?
In Special Forces.
Was this written down in any manual of instruction?
I can't recall a manual.
The Unleashing of Evil, tonight at 9:30 on BBC1.
On 2 in a moment, the MASH medics of the 4077th. This is BBC One.
The 9 o'clock news from the BBC with Martin Lewis and Andrew Harvey.
Kinnock fights his corner. He attacks the Disneyland politics of the ultra-left.
Reform of the Official Secrets Act, enforceable and reasonable, say the government. Labour call it unacceptable.
The great Soviet debate...
Hospital.